Alright, so we have this inductor here. This is the second time I'm fixing it, because the people that use it leave it cranked up too long on full power, and it burns out the transistor. These are kind of expensive, so it's cheaper to replace a transistor that costs $1 than to buy a whole new one. So that's what we're going to do. Now here's the pins for the transistor. It's under here, so we have to take out the screw to remove the heat sink, and there was one over here too I already took out. And the way you can tell it's bad, here's the good one, no continuity. There's the bad one, shorted out. So the hardest part of this is I have to chisel the old ones off of this heat sink because they're glued on there with thermal glue. So I'm bringing the heat sink over to the edge here so that it's sitting on the heat sink. Then I'm going to put the screwdriver down here between it. Here's the first one. Then we'll turn it over and get the other one here. Come off easier than it did the first time. So this one here is still good. And that's our bad one. Alright, to make this easier on us, we're gonna Go ahead and clip these legs off. That way we can desolder one at a time. There's one. There's two. There's three. Alright, so we have the old one out, and here's the new one. We're gonna go ahead and solder the new one into here. Alright, we got the new one soldered on there. Good. Now we need to bend it down to the same height as the other one in this pad here. I'm going to go ahead and clean this off real quick. Alright, so we got the heat sink cleaned up. Most of the thermal glue went hard. There's a little bit on the end here, so hopefully that's enough to do it. I'm just going to poke a little hole here. Alright, we had just enough to get those two stuck. This one has a different thermal compound. There's enough on there for that. I'll go ahead and get this stuck on here. I'll get this screw back in it. And we can lay these back down, and then our other screw goes right here. Between that screw is this tiny little grommet. Next we're going to take some hot glue and we're going to glue these back down to the board so they're not vibrating around in there. So I do have a glue gun, but I just find it faster to do it this way.
Any ideas?
Alright, so we got those glued back down. Tuck that wire back over there, and we can slide it back in the tube. There just happens to be a zip tie on the coil here, exactly where the switch goes in, so it makes it difficult to get that in there. So now this end can go back on. We'll go ahead and stick a couple screws in here to hold that on there, at least one. Now, one thing I do gotta say about this, the build quality is excellent. It's a piece of PVC pipe with 2 drain ends. They just hogged out a hole for the cord to go through, and then mounted in a toolbox. So they definitely went all out on the designing of this. And then we'll just move this other drain cover up here and get that screwed on. I can only assume that airport security would not appreciate you coming through with one of these things. Piece of pipe with a bunch of electronics inside. And we're all back together. I got one of the cords here. We're going to go ahead and plug this thing in and give it a test. Go ahead and plug this thing in here. No smoke yet. And you can see it's just that quick and starts glowing red hot. We'll do the other end here. That's gold. And glowing red hot already. And it'll do way more than a coat hanger. It'll heat up anything. There's multiple different attachments. It's actually a really useful tool as long as you don't overheat it. So now we got that fixed. I'm gonna go ahead and clean out the toolbox and we can stick this back in the toolbox. Alright, so we got the inductor back in the box. It's all mounted in. Cleaned it up a little bit. We'll go ahead and stick all these cables in here. And then we got the large pad. And then it all kind of sort of fits in there. So we're going to go ahead and take this back to the shop so that they can break it again, and that's going to be it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe. Thanks for watching.